Hey everyone, it's Rebecca from DevourDinner.com and welcome to my kitchen. You guys, happy Sunday. I'm really excited to be here. I'm excited to go live. I've loved going live and I get more and more excited about going live on Sundays to be with you guys. I get messages all week long about how excited you are to join me again, and it just makes me happy. It makes me so giddy inside and I love it. So while we're waiting for people to pop on, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to put links over in the comments. Hey, we already have someone. Hi there, Janine. How are you doing? Today we are going to be doing 2 recipes. We're not always going to do 2 recipes, but if it works, we're going to do 2. So we're going to do 2 recipes, and before we get started, we're going to wait and see, let people have a chance to come on so we know you're there. But we're going to do a chicken marsala in the Instapot or pressure cooker, as well as a garlic roasted potato as a side dish, again in our Instapot or pressure cooker. It doesn't matter what brand you have. Bring your questions and we'll show you how to use it. It's kind of fun. All right. Oh my gosh, we've got lots of faces. Hello, Timothy. Janine is watching from North Dakota. Welcome, Eileen. How are you, friend? She's on that Oregon coast. It's wonderful to see you, Eileen. Teresa's asking me, do I have a recipe for a goulash recipe? I don't. I do not specifically have a goulash, although I have got a long list of recipes that I'm working through as fast as I can to get more variety and more recipes up for you guys. And so letting me know what recipes you guys are searching for is a huge help because I want to do the recipes that you guys want. So that's great. I'll get that on the list. Hi, Dee. How are you? Hi, Max. Hi, Kim. Hi, Pamela. Pamela's from Pennsylvania. Hi, Susan from San Antonio. Pearl says, hello, can't wait, it sounds so good. Hi, Linda, you're watching from California. Oh my gosh, so many beautiful faces. You guys, this gives me chills. I love it when I come and I see all of you. I'm assuming that because of all the comments, you guys can hear me. You know, we always kind of do a sound check, and I have not gotten the thumbs up yet. Peggy, hello, Peggy, how are you? From Arkansas. Peggy went out and got ingredients, I know, to do this right along with me. Hello, Starling. Hello, Josh. Hello, Shelly. How are you? We have a whole bunch here. Okay. I'm not getting the thumbs up yet from, we got to be close. We got to be close. So you guys know I love to welcome the groups that come and are a part of it. We have a couple of different groups that join in, and I'm so grateful for both of those groups. We have the Instapot 101 for Beginners group and the Instapot Recipes for Beginners. And I love that they're here. And I love all of my top fans that come back week after week to help answer questions. Because as you guys know, this gets a little crazy, which I love. So those of you that are on, please, please, please give this video a thumbs up. Give it a heart. That tells Facebook it's good content to share to more people. It helps me out. It's something simple you can do. Also, if you're not following along, please follow me on Devour Dinner on my Facebook page so that you'll get notifications of new recipes and fun stuff going on because they get posted right to that feed, and you get more information on when I go live and all that good stuff. But give this video a thumbs up. Give it a heart right now. This would really help me, okay? I love it. Let's dive in. First of all, what we're going to do is we are going to set the Instapot to saute. Now, you heard me last week tell you, if you store your Instapots or your pressure cookers with the lids upside down, as soon as you get them going, you need to pull the lid off or away so that the top plastic doesn't get too hot and it doesn't melt. Super important. So for chicken marsala in the Instapot, we are, you know, I have not seen, hold on one second. There's Amy. Hello, Amy. How are you? Amy's from the Recipe 101 group. So I just want to make sure we have them. Oh, perfect. And we've got Shelly on here as well. Thank you for joining us, both of you guys, and inviting your followers. I so appreciate it. I don't mean that lightly. I love it. But let's tell you what's in this recipe. I've dropped the links up in the comments, and we'll continue to drop them as I'm making them. because I know that you're not able to scroll all the way up a lot, so I'll drop it again. In the chicken marsala, we're going to use 2 large chicken breasts. You can use 3 smaller ones if that works. We're going to use some seasoned salt and ground pepper along with some flour to dredge and coat our chicken breasts in. We'll also be using some mushrooms, some onion, garlic, some marsala wine, of course, and some chicken broth. And that's going to be our recipe. So what I first have here on this plate is, I've got some flour and our seasonings, and I'm just going to mix this up because this is what we will dredge our chicken in. So I'm just going to go ahead, I'm going to use my hands and just kind of mix this up before my hands get all too messy here. We'll get my phone out of the way. We don't need that. And then we need, pull this out. All right, you guys, guess what? You want to see something super fun? I did it for you guys. So I've spent all week playing around, and look what I've got. Do you see my little picture-in-picture in the bottom corner? So you guys can see the top down while you're seeing me. Kind of fun, huh? All right, for our chicken breasts, what we're going to do is we're going to slice them horizontally. So what I like to do is just get a cutting board with a sharp knife, and I'll take the chicken breast and I'll lay it down, and then I put my hand right on top of it. We're going to go, actually, watch this, you guys. There we go. Okay. So I'm just going to lay the knife flat, and I kind of press down on the chicken breast so that I can get a nice cut all the way through. And then I'm able to get just 2 nice thin cutlets. See how easy that was? So we're going to do that with both of our chicken breasts. And I find if I push down, it makes it easier to slice through. Just keeps everything pretty easy. So we have our chicken cutlets. There we go. All right. Now we're going to take these and we're going to use a little bit. No, we're not going to use that. Sorry. It's a crazy day around here. I'm just going to take the cutlets and I'm just going to dredge them in the flour. Okay? We just want to make sure they get coated. This will help when we brown the chicken breast really fast in some olive oil. So I'm just kind of lightly coating it, lightly breading a little bit. Now remember, we've already seasoned our flour, so we have seasoned salt and we have ground pepper along with flour. So we've got plenty of good seasonings going on. We'll pull that off, and we're going to pull these out of the way. All right. Now, our Instant Pot is reading hot. So I'm going to go ahead and add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil to the bottom. And then we are going to place our chicken inside, okay? You can use tongs, of course, to get them in and out. I'm going to drop them in, and then I'll pull them out with tongs. Now, they're going to need to cook for about 90 seconds per side. And if you guys remember, if you've been with me before, you know that whenever you saute and you put meat down, it instantly is going to stick to the bottom. Don't panic. Relax. Take a deep breath, everybody. It's going to be okay. Because after it browns a little bit, the pan's going to release it. And then you're going to be able to turn it. And that's how you know it's time to turn, is when it just lifts right up. When it's still stuck, it needs a little bit longer to brown before you turn it. So we want to let it kind of saute and brown a little bit for about 90 seconds per side. We're going to do both of these. And then we'll pull them out before we move on. You guys are like so awesome today. We'll give some more shout outs. Hey, Dave. Dave's back again. I love it. How are you, Dave? Candace, hello. Welcome. This is a delicious recipe. Candace says it sounds delicious. It really is a delicious recipe. We love it. The kids, the boys, I should say, all lick their plates clean. And it's just a fun, easy recipe all the way around. Let's get this in camera mode here so you guys can see that. So you notice how I can just nudge this and it moves? Let's go full screen. So this is ready to just flip. Same with this one. We're going to let it cook on the other side. All right, while I've got you guys here, did you notice anything else different? I've been working on it just for you guys. Did you notice? Did you notice you can see better into the pot? Right on, huh? Give me some thumbs up and some likes for that one. That was a real task to get accomplished, but it's been kind of fun this week, making it so that you guys have better views and you can see more of what's going on, so you can duplicate it so much easier. So it's super fun that way. Gail says, I love the picture-in-picture. Gail, when I figured out the picture-in-picture, I was like super excited because I thought, well, how fun is that to be able to see what's going on, and how I can change which picture-in-picture is going on, so you guys can really see what's happening down in the pot if you join in at different times. For those of you that are on right now, if you haven't given this video a thumbs up or a heart, please do so right now. Just that's one simple thing that you can do for me in doing the live that helps so much. So just hit the like button for the video itself. It makes a huge difference. All right. I don't even know if I can get back to all these questions, you guys. We have a lot of you on here today. We have had record numbers watching, and it has just tickled me. I can't even tell you. All right. I'm just going to pull these out. While we throw in our other two. I'm going to get rid of this glove. So we'll cook up these chicken cutlets, these other two, and then we'll pull them out. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add some butter along with some diced onions, some mushrooms that have been sliced, and garlic. And we're going to saute those up for a few minutes so that the mushrooms can kind of soften down and the onions will start to sweat a little bit before we proceed on. So really, this is a super fast recipe. It will cook for 6 minutes with a 12-minute natural release time, which means when the time is done for cooking, we just let it sit. And we'll let it sit for 12 minutes as the pressure slowly comes down before we release that pressure all on its own. So what I love about this, if you happen to have 2 pressure cookers, while I'm making this, I can make in another pressure cooker these roasted garlic potatoes, which are so good. I actually could eat these potatoes as a full meal because I love them. And we're going to do them simultaneously. They're going to come out at about the same time and ready to go. All right. We'll flip this over. You guys want to see big picture down below? We'll get you big. There we go. All right. Okay, I'm back to comments over here. Peggy's like, I noticed. Very cool. You guys are noticing all the different picture-in-picture and how you can see better. Hey, Winna? From Nova Scotia, Canada. Welcome. Dave says that's great. He loves it. Joyce says, hiya, Shelly. And Trista. I love that you guys have friends on here that you guys all say hello to. I love it. Timothy says, really like the new picture-in-picture. I do too. The picture-in-picture to me was like, love it. So there's more fun things that I'm learning that way too. Hello, Neela, Paulette. Hello, Dina. Dina, don't apologize for being late. The good news is this is a video that you can always watch on replay, and that's what I love. It's always available. All right. We're going to pull this out. Set this aside, get this out of the way. Now, we're going to add just a couple of tablespoons of butter to let that melt. You guys still have picture-in-picture. And then we are going to add with it, let's get that melted. We're going to add some diced onions. And we're also going to add some sliced mushrooms. That's about 8 ounces of mushrooms, along with some garlic. And we're just going to stir it up. Now, you will notice that on the bottom of the pan, there's some areas that have some stuck bits on them. That's really to be expected because we have just browned our chicken breasts, and our chicken breasts were coated in flour and seasonings. So it's to be expected that we're going to have a couple of areas with some stuck bits. But don't worry, because as soon as we're done sauteing up our vegetables, we're going to deglaze the pot. And deglazing the pot is super easy. That's when we turn the heat off. We add our thin liquid in. In this case, we're going to add in chicken broth. And then we're going to scrape and lift up those areas that are stuck so that we don't get a burn notice when we're cooking. And sometimes when you're sauteing, you can scrape some of them up. But I really like to wait until we add our thin liquid. We've got more fun people on here. You guys, I love it. Hello, Margaret from Iceland. Am I reading that right? From Iceland? Woohoo! Oh my gosh. I love it. You guys. I have to tell you, when I'm done with the lives, I sit down on the couch and I try to go through the lives and see comments and see where people are from and take note. And it's so fun as my family kind of sits around and listens to it. It's a riot. All right, we're going to turn this off. And I'm going to go ahead and add in some chicken broth. And then we're going to scrape so that we can lift up anything that has stuck. You guys want to see better? There we go. So we just kind of scrape those areas. I like to go around the edges, back and forth. There's not so much liquid that you can't see what areas might be stuck. I think I've got them all off now. But you can see how really quick and easy it is to just deglaze the bottom of the pot. All right, and then what I like to do is put my chicken back in, and I layer it with the larger pieces towards the bottom. And then what I like to do is I like to pour the marsala right on top. That's it. We're ready to go. So we're gonna take our lid, we're gonna close it. Remember to push the valve in the back, that's that wobbly button, to the closed position, which is towards the back. You're then gonna press your pressure cook button. Remember, this is gonna cook for 6 minutes, so you use your plus or your minus keys to adjust. We're gonna get to 6 minutes, and it'll take just a minute before it beeps. And when it beeps, what it's telling us is, I got the instructions, I'm gonna set it to 6 minutes, I'm gonna start the process. There's the beep. So now the pressure cooker is gonna start heating that bottom element again, heating up that liquid so it can create steam. Of course, the steam helps seal the pot off before our pressure time will start. So, recipe number 1 is going. Let's get some of this stuff out of the way. And let's move on to recipe number 2. So for recipe number 2, we are going to make some garlic roasted potatoes. And for that, I like to use these little baby potatoes, right? They're so soft, they're so tender, they're so flavorful. Now, I've already washed these. You can buy them in bags, you can buy them separate, you can buy them fresh produce where you just pick the ones you want. You know, your grocery store will kind of depend on all that. And we're just going to slice them up. So these bigger ones that are like bigger, like see how this is littler? These ones I'm going to quarter and these ones I'm going to half. Just to like give you an idea of what we're going to do. Essentially trying to make the potatoes roughly the same size so that they'll cook roughly the same. Now I'm doing about 2 pounds of these little baby new potatoes. And if you have never had baby new potatoes, listen to me right now. Go to your store and get some. They are totally different than a regular big potato. And I'm not even joking. They're so baby tender. They just have great flavor. My husband used to farm. He had, I don't know how many thousands of acres of potatoes that he was a farm manager for. And we used to go and dig them up at the beginning of the season so we could get these little baby new potatoes going on. So then the recipe also calls for some melted butter, some garlic, some Italian seasonings, and a little bit of Parmesan for on top. It's a very simple recipe. This is a recipe that my boys even throw together and help when I'm busy in the kitchen making the main course, that they can just throw this recipe together all on their own. All right. Now, we're just going to drizzle butter right over the top. And then we're going to add in some dry Italian seasonings, as well as some garlic. How's that, you guys? And then I'm just going to stir it. We just really want to coat everything. And with the butter on the potatoes, it helps the garlic and the Italian seasonings stick. So that's all we're going to do. Now we're going to get to this other pressure cooker here. guys can see. This one isn't as fun, I'm going to be honest. We're just going to pour these in because we've already done all of our mixing, everything that we need to do. I like to scrape the bowl because I want all of those extra yumminess in here. And then we're going to pour about a half of a cup of some chicken broth into the bottom. Give it a little stir. We need that liquid, of course, to build up pressure, to build up steam. And this recipe is also going to cook for 6 minutes. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to set it by pressing pressure cook and adjusting the plus and minus keys to 6 minutes. Once we have done that, it'll take just a minute, and we're going to hear the beep from this pressure cooker. There we go. So we have closed the wobbly knob in the back, and now we kind of set it and forget it. This is going to cook for 6 minutes and is going to have a quick release. So at the end of our cooking time, we're going to open the pressure valve, let the steam shoot up, and we're going to pull out our ingredients, our potatoes. Hey, Troy, will you come get something for me, hon? All right, you guys, I'm going to answer questions. Will you get me that square bowl that's right there and just set it with the plate? That's fun. All right, let's ask questions, you guys. Just brush it out. We don't normally have a chance to answer questions, and today I wanted to get to questions because let me tell you something. You guys are important to me. You're not just a number that I see on a screen. You guys are people, and you're my friends, and you're my tribe, and I get so excited when you're here, and I feel so bad when I can't answer questions. So I have a few minutes to answer questions today. Let's dive into it. Geneva says, thanks for doing this, very helpful. Geneva, you are so welcome. Connie, great question. Connie says, how do I store my Instapot when it's not in use? With the lid, with the lid on and with the seal in place or seal not in place? Connie, that's a great question. So at the beginning of the presentation, you saw that my lids, I always store upside down, and I keep my rings in place. So, but I'm always taking my rings in and out because I'm washing them, I'm cleaning them, and then I put them back in so that I know where they're at. Mostly so they don't get pushed in the back of the Tupperware closet so that I can never find them. But some people store their rings in the freezer, which helps cut down on any garlic smells that they might have. So everybody's a little different, but I do like to store my lids upside down so that air can flow around, so that inside of the pot isn't all closed up, because it gets that stuffy smell to it, and I don't like that. So I always store my lids upside down. Great question. Wolf James says these are great videos. Thank you so much. I love going live. I love it. Let's see. You guys, there's so many hellos. Hello, Pamela. Hello, Juanita. She likes the picture-in-picture. You guys are so welcome. Amy's giving clapping. Amy says, please remember to clean off your keyboard on your computer as your raw chicken gloves were touching them. So, the hand that was using them hadn't touched the chicken yet, you guys. This hand had used them. Just FYI. Connie says, wow, love the two views. Linda says, hello from Texas. Hello from Arizona. We need a smell-o-vision. Geneva says we need a smell-o-vision. Peggy says, I bet it smells amazing. You guys, it does. Joyce says, I need the Mickey Mouse cutting board. Do you guys see it right over my shoulder? My husband made that cutting board for me. I am a Disney fanatic and love it. Just love it. Let's see. Trisha saw the cutting board. Maria's asking how much chicken stock. So in the chicken marsala, there's a variety that you can use. You can use more chicken broth than you use marsala. You can use equal parts, or you can use just a little bit more marsala. The more marsala you use, the richer robust flavor you're going to get, the deeper the color you're going to get. So you can adjust as you like. Today on this one, I did about half and half. Half marsala, half chicken stock on that. So it was about a half a cup of each. And then on the potatoes, I put in about a half a cup of chicken broth with the potatoes. Joyce says, I saw the cutting board. Peggy says there are links to the recipes up in the description. That's right. There are links to the recipes up in the descriptions. I've also put links here as well. We're going to drop back in the potato recipe because I haven't seen that one come up in a while. Peggy says, I love the red new potatoes. Juanita says, I love your cutting boards in the background. You guys, my husband makes those cutting boards, and it's kind of fun. He's got some more. We'll have a very small supply that we're going to be selling. And when I say a small, it's a small supply. It'll be under 20 cutting boards. But those are in the works, and they're super fun. So kind of crazy. All right. Our potatoes are now beeping at, or not our potatoes, our chicken marsala is now beeping at us. So this is now going to go into a keep warm mode, and we're going to let it have a natural release for 12 minutes. Okay? So for 12 minutes, we're just going to let this pressure cooker sit. This is the Milthy by the multi-pot by Milthy that I'm using here. I use a lot of the Milthy products, and I love them. If you guys are interested in any of the Milthy products, there's a discount code. If you use the code Devour Dinner, one word, all caps, you can get $10 off any of their multi-pots or their crisp lid or even these frying pans as well. And I can drop that link for you as well. We'll drop that as well. Oh my gosh, you guys are all talking to each other. I love it. That's darling. Let's see, Penny's from Delaware. Janelle, you're back again. Wonderful. Hello from Tennessee. Susan from Indiana. Katie is from Maryland. Irene from Florida. Shelly's from Northern Indiana. Okay, Stacy has a fantastic question. She says, what if you only have one pressure cooker? Which would you do first? Well, if I only had one pressure cooker, you could, I'm probably going to do it non-traditionally. Let me explain why. I probably would do my potatoes first. And the reason is because when the marsala chicken gets out, I want to eat it and I don't want to wait. So I would rather have my potatoes sit. And so what I would do is cook the potatoes, get the potatoes done, pull them out, cover them in a bowl, and sit them in the microwave or something just to sit while the marsala was cooking is what I would do. You could also cook the potatoes in the oven. They would take about 25 plus minutes in the oven roasting. So you could start those in the oven and then use your pressure cooker for your marsala. And then that way they're both cooking at the same time, just using different things. So that would work too. So Bonnie says, what is the best way to clean the rings? So all of the lid and the rings you can put in your dishwasher. They're both dishwasher safe. Personally, I love to use a scrubby brush with soap and hot water. And I take the scrubby brush and I scrub all around it. And I use my hands and go all through it and rinse it off. And then I'll throw it into the top shelf of my dishwasher so that it can really get disinfected. That's what I do. My lids, I wash with a scrubby, the same scrubby. I get soap on it and put the lid underneath the water and scrub all around it and scrub the tops. And then I let them air dry. So my lids I don't put in the dishwasher, but my sealing rings I do. Hello, Jerry. Let's see. Okay, there's those links. Neely's got a great question. Neely's question says, when do you use a quick release versus a natural release? What are the options? Okay, so today we're doing one of each. Our potatoes are going to be a quick release, and our marsala is a natural release. And when do you use them and why? So a quick release is used when we want to stop that cooking process and we want to get that pressure out fast. Keep in mind, when that happens, all of your liquid that is in whatever those ingredients are being pulled out really fast, okay? So typically any of your meats, you want to natural release. Any of your meats, when you're doing roasts or chicken or steak or pork, you want a natural release because you want to keep that moisture in the meat. So you want that pressure level to come down really nice and slow. Super important. And like our potatoes, once they're done cooking, we want them done. So we're going to release the pressure, let that steam out so that we can get them out and ready to serve. So those are the two differences. When we quick release, we will open the pressure valve. You can use a spoon. You can use, if you received with your pressure cooker, a ladle. The ladle has a nice little hook. The hook allows you to open and close your pressure valve relatively easily. And so those are ways to do that. But you'll see in any recipe that you're making, it will tell you if it's a quick release or if it's a natural release. And you'll see that in the recipe card in the instructions for exactly what you need to do for that. So that was a great question. Let's see. You guys are so good. Everybody's welcoming everybody. Okay, Amy says, how many pots do you have? You guys want to take a guess? I actually don't have as many as people might think. I have 4. And they're all 6 quarts. I know, crazy. Most people have like an 8 quart and a 6 quart and a 3 quart, and they have the varieties or whatever. I have 4, and they're all 6 quarts. So I have the Milthy multi-pot, the original. I have the Milthy multi-pot 2.0, which is the new one that came out. This one is the Duo Plus, the Instapot Duo Plus, and then I have the Instapot Duo as well. And those are the 4 pots that I have. And strangely enough, they're always all in use for something. I make a lot of yogurt, which takes a lot of time, so I have a pot that does a lot of yogurt. These two seem to be over here in my studio quite a bit. And I use them here on my lives so that you guys can see them, because I like to show you varieties of pressure cookers, because not everybody has the same model or the same brand or whatever. And I just want you to know it doesn't matter. An electric pressure cooker will all do the same. So yeah, I've got 4. Let's see. Cindy says you have over 200 people watching. I know, Cindy, I am so blessed with all of you that come back week after week. For those of you that jump on, if you're here right now and haven't liked this video, please give the video a thumbs up. Follow me on Devour Dinner here on Facebook so you get those notifications when new recipes come up. A new recipe went out today for a sugar cream pie. If you guys have ever had that recipe, it's a custard-like pie, super simple, super delicious. It'll be a fun recipe for Pie Day coming up if you guys celebrate Pie Day. I do, because I like pie. So I always make a whole bunch of pies. It's kind of fun. Obviously, that is not an Instapot recipe. And that one is done mostly on the stovetop with very little done in the oven. So it's really one of those simple pies. If you're not a pie person, you can do this. Like, I promise you, you can do this. It's super fun. Okay, so Shelly, thank you, Shelly. She says most reputable recipes will state as to whether you need to do a quick release or a natural release. Rule of thumbs. All meats need at least a 15-minute natural release. All pastas and vegetables need a quick release to stop the cooking process. So that's a general rule of thumb. On pastas, though, when you're cooking pastas, think of your pastas on the stove, and when you cook them, there's a lot of starch that boils up. If you were to quick release your pasta, you're going to spit all that starch throughout your kitchen. So with pastas, you'll notice for the bloggers that really recipe test, what they're doing is they're adjusting the time down just a little bit because they're taking into account a very short natural release time. which allows those starches to settle down so that when you do open up the pressure, you don't have it spitting all over your kitchen. So keep that in mind. Gail says potatoes are easier to reheat if you have to. That's right. If you only have one pressure cooker, that's super good. Rhonda says hello from Missouri. Love your videos. Hello, Rhonda. You guys are like awesome. Let's see where we're at over here. Okay. This is our Marsala has been sitting for 9 minutes, so we've got 3 more minutes left on our Marsala. When our Marsala is done, I'm going to open up, pull the chicken out, set it aside, and we're going to stir it a little bit, put it on saute. We can also go ahead and make a cornstarch slurry. Now remember, we've dredged our chicken in flour, okay? So remember, we've done that. And so we already have a thickening agent going on. So you may find that you don't need to thicken anymore. So it's super important. You don't want to thicken up too much or you're going to have a thick gravy instead of just a nice caramelized Marsala on there. So let's see where we're at here. There's our. So just a couple more minutes. Our potatoes have 3 minutes left. So essentially both of these are going to come out at the same time and we're going to plate them up. As always for you guys, I love it. I'm going to scroll down here. So Linda says, hello from New Jersey. I'm new to this, so I really appreciate the information. Linda, you're so welcome. That's why I do this. I do it not only for all the new ones who want to learn how to use their pressure cookers, but a safe place to come and ask questions, whether you're new to this or whether you've been doing it for a long time. It's just a safe place to come and be. So welcome. Lori says, hello from California. Where in California, Lori? I grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area. That's where I still call home. I love it. Okay, I'll go back through and read all these other questions. They are just scrolling away. And 2 more minutes, guys. So we will plate these up. Let's get those out of the way. Let's get our plates in line. So you guys heard me say before, we can release the pressure. If you have one of these ladles that came with your pressure cooker, they're really wonderful. They have a little hook on the end that naturally just sits on the edge of the inner pot that holds it up so it doesn't slide down and fall into your food. It also has that little notch where you can open and close your pressure valve to release that pressure. So that's kind of nice too. Many of you I know are afraid to open and close your pressure valve, and I understand. Totally get it. After you've done it a few times, you get more and more comfortable of that steam coming up. So it gets easier, I promise. It really does. And we're at 12 minutes. Okay, so I'm just going to use this and open it up. You can see that the steam is coming out. It's not a huge amount of steam because we've released so much pressure already. Now our potatoes are beeping at us as well. So I'm going to go ahead and open that one too. Notice the difference between the steam on the two. All right, our Marsala has opened up. So let's press cancel. You guys have got our and I'm just going to pull out the chicken really fast so we can thicken up the sauce. There we go. Now, we're just going to mix up a little bit of cornstarch with a little bit of chicken broth, and really the goal is to use the least amount of liquid as possible. We're going to turn our pressure cooker on to saute because we want that bottom element to be heating up. Add a little bit of broth, and we're just going to stir. So you guys have made a cornstarch slurry before. That's just going to help thicken up those juices a little bit. We're turning it back on to saute so we get that heating element to help it along. And we're going to add it to it. Let's get this out. All right. You guys want to see it for real? Let's change it over. There you go. So you can see it's a pretty thin liquid, right? We're just going to go ahead, add that slurry, and stir. And almost instantly, that thickens up. In fact, that probably was too much. So we're going to add a little bit more liquid into it. There we go. So keep in mind, we have that flour in there. One of the reasons why I like to start with less chicken broth so I can always add it if I need to, if I use too much cornstarch. On this one, I used about a tablespoon and a half. Probably should have gone for just 1 tablespoon. It just kind of varies on how much liquid comes out. Our potatoes are now done as well. I'm going to get that lid off so that those can start cooling off, and I'll show you that here in just a minute. Now, you can obviously serve right from the pot, at which point you can throw your chicken breast right back inside to serve. You can also, I like to pull out a little bit of this sauce, get it on my plate, use a little bit there. Let's go with that one as well. Oh. There we go. And then do a little bit more sauce with those yummy mushrooms right on top as well. Then let's get to these potatoes. Can you see that yet? Oh. There's not picture in picture. Let's go top down. There you go. So those are beautiful. We're just going to lift those out with a slotted spoon so that we can serve them up. They smell wonderful. I love the colors of the gold and the reds. I just love them. And then, if you guys want, you can add a little bit of parmesan on top. Just sprinkle that in. That will just naturally melt all on its own. You can also, if you want, add some parmesan, some Romano cheese right on the top of your marsala, and then we can dish some up. You guys, I'm making a mess all the way around. But there you go. This will give you a better visual. There you go. There's our chicken marsala along with our roasted potatoes ready to eat for dinner all the way around. Delicious. You guys, I'm starving. I can't wait to dive in and enjoy this meal. For those of you that are still on here, please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't taken the time to follow me at Devour Dinner, I sure appreciate it. We had some pretty exciting news last week where I hit 20,000 followers. I've been giddy all week with it, and it's still growing. And I'm just tickled. I'm tickled because it's not just a number, it's a person. There's so many people that are here that take time out of their weekend and out of their day to come and to join in and to be a part of this community. And I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled to have you and to get to know you better. So don't hesitate to send me a message, a direct message, or make comments, and I will answer them and get back to you the best that I can. So you guys, there you go. What do you think? Super fun? Super fun. Hey, Amy, I just saw Amy jump on here. How are you, Amy? It's good to have you. But with that, again, I want to thank the Instapot 101 for Beginners group and the Instapot Recipe for Beginners group who invite their members to come over and watch. I sure appreciate that. And all of you who tell your friends and your family as well. It means the world to me. So thank you, thank you, thank you. With that, you guys, remember to be kind to one another. It's a hard world out there, and spread some kindness. But most importantly, remember to be kind to yourselves. We're kind of hard on ourselves sometimes, so take a deep breath and just know you guys are doing awesome. One step in front of the other, you can do it. With that, you guys, I'm going to peace out until next Sunday. Next Sunday, I have got some fun recipes that I'm going to do, some classic old-time recipes that I'm excited about. So, you guys have a fantastic week. I will see you next Sunday right here on Devour Dinner. Have a fantastic time. Thanks for being here, guys. We'll see ya. Bye.